All right, guys, and welcome to this little mini video tutorial. Um, this is more of a just a little mini thing to show you about how I use ChatGPT in all of my manifestations. Um, and just FYI, if you've not hit that subscribe button, please do. Really appreciate that. And now let's just get started. Um, This is ChatGPT. I tried to make a video with just doing the free, just a new account, and it was just being silly. I don't want that. Okay, customize ChatGPT. Right? What do you do? This is mainly the thing. The page is going to be the best thing you can do. Right here. So, what traits should ChatGPT have? From a standpoint, for me, because I am in manifestation, and I also say always describe what you look like. Definitely tell ChatGPT, because when it starts doing these images, really and truly, what you want to do is you want it to make something that is, more, um, you know, more, you know, customized to you. So, at that, what do you do? What's your job? What's your name? What personality should it have? Cynic, robot, listener, thoughtful, nerd. So, what kind of personality should it have? That's something, just kind of cheerful and adaptive. What traits should ChatGPT have? You like current standpoint of a student, Neville Goddard. Say any of me, then this is what I look like. I follow the teaching of anything else chat should know. I follow the teachings of Neville Goddard, and then enable new chats. You kind of go, you can go in here into advanced and capabilities, web search code, canvas, advanced voice. Well, you know what? Let's leave that because it has. We've just come out with Chat 5, so it may be something that it comes up with later on. All right, so save. You save all of that, and now you get there is you click on your portrait, and you will go and hit customize Chat GPT. Ask it anything. So we want to say you talk to your Chat GPT like it is a friend. You don't, and when I say talk to it like it's a friend, I mean very much like you do talk to it like it's a friend. You say, hey, like it will learn you. So I, just because I'm not a complete douche, I talk to my, I say please and thank you, and I'm pretty nice to it. But also I say, just kind of just say, hey, like, can you do this? Can you do that? But you have to give it something to go off of. Past chats are a great thing if you use it enough. I started out like most professionals do. I started out using this as a tool to upgrade my resume and stuff like that. And then I went and I saw somebody saying that they were using it for manifestation and witchcraft and stuff like that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? And so I started using it, and I absolutely love it. EFT tapping. Let's see. So this is a good one. Create an EFT tapping for receiving wealth. That is something that that I will be doing a video on. But sometimes your imagination may not be as as good as everybody else's. I know a lot of people who cannot like visualize. They can't visualize in their mind, so they have to have something that kind of like writes a story for them. Use this especially in your visualizations. Have visualization. You just say, hey, like, can you just create like a SATS visualization of this thing that I want? And it is great at that. So we're doing like EFT tapping for receiving wealth, right? Just hit enter, right? Neville inspired EFT tapping sequence for receiving wealth designed to shift you to the state of already having while dissolving resistance. Okay, so it'll start out with all the points right here. So you got all of that. I'm kind of watching this to make sure that it doesn't feel too much about like any my manifestations personally. Okay, so then say New chat. All right. You always just can hit new chat, or you can build upon that chat, right? So you can go, you can build upon that chat and say, hey, well, can you adjust it this way, or can you tweak it this way, or whatever. So this is another thing. Can create a SATS visualization, because you always want to add that SATS, which if you are new to the manifestation community, SATS is something that Neville Goddard, really preached about. He said that was like the best way to reach your subconscious, and your subconscious is kind of like the driver, but it's a very submissive driver in the sense that it's like a Uber driver. You basically just you tell it where you want to go. You have to put in your directions in GPS. So create a SATS visualization for receiving wealth naturally, or easily rather. Right there. So you got a quick answer. You're going to wait on it here. State kind of sleep. So you're not used nightly to effortlessly receive wealth, delivered from the standpoint of Neville Goddard student with a soothing, etheric nighttime tone. You can record as a voiceover or read softly before sleep. Use it as your last conscious scene before drifting off. Now what I'll do is I've actually got ChatGPT, the app, on my phone. I will go and I'll create all these things, and then I'll go in there and I'll actually, when I go to lay down at night, I'll get really comfortable. I've already got my nighttime sounds going, as far as all that goes. So then I'm over here and I'm just reading this. This is the last thing I do before I take my glasses off and put them on the nightstand with my phone. I've even had to, because I have a terrible time sleeping, or that I just kind of put my phone on nightlight mode, which just kind of takes a lot of the blue out of it. If you're a person who has a hard time sleeping, maybe that might be something, you're thinking, oh, well, I don't, I'm trying to keep my screen time down to a minimum. Turn your phone on to a nightlight version, which turns a lot of the blue tones orange, and it helps you to fall asleep. So how to use. You're going to lie down, lights low, comfortable, play gentle theta waves or soft ambient pads at a low volume. And now this is what I'm talking about when I say that I play sleep sounds. I have a whole playlist of sleep sounds for different things. I've got meditation, stuff like that. But I've got certain ones that you can find on YouTube, and they're 8 hours. If you have a PC, this is also something I have discovered, and I just kind of want to share this. If you have a PC, you can actually download the browser extension for YouTube. Right click in the middle of your video, and it'll say cast to media. So if you don't have that cast to media, if you have a Google speaker, for instance, this is really important to keep in mind. If you have a Google speaker, you can actually cast those videos that normally you used to have to have YouTube Music. And if it wasn't in YouTube Music, well, then you're just kind of SOL. Now they've added it into the browser extensions. I think this one is for Edge. I use the one for Edge because it takes up less resources on my computer, and that's kind of an important thing for me. But if you've just got like a laptop, for instance, you can do this. You can download the browser extension and you can cast it to whatever is on the network. So you cast your sound to your your smart speaker, or you can just have it on a regular Bluetooth speaker, right? When the power goes out at my house, I'll use my mobile data, or not necessarily the power, but when the internet goes out at my house, and it hasn't happened often, but when it does, I will go, and I've got a full big speaker that I just connect to via Bluetooth from the phone, and we go about our day. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to play your theta waves or your soft ambient pads at low volume. You're going to relax your body with slow breaths. The count of 4 in, hold 2, 6 out. So you're doing the count of 6 for out 3 times. You're going to set your intention while you're doing this. You're in your head. You're going, this is my deliberate scene before sleep. You're going to keep your eyes closed. Let the scene be small, vivid, and already accomplished. I don't keep my eyes closed, and that's just because reading it makes it easier for me. You're going to play the guided voiceover, or you're going to read it aloud in a whisper. You do it nightly, end with the decree, let yourself fall asleep. So, right, you've got your breathe in and out, let your body sink, Softly now, imagine a door in front of you. Now this is where I use this to I use this to do literally anything. If I want to go and visualize something, because there are people out there, and I cannot remember. Unfortunately, I cannot remember what the name of it is. I have a friend that actually has this. It's where they cannot, like, they don't. It's some type of thing where they can't. But like, if you say, you know, look at something like through your mind's eye, where you're just like making up an imaginary thing, they cannot do it. And this is where I think that this is a wonderful tool for this. Um, so you go and you're just, everybody, you can, if you can read, you can do this, right? So 15 minutes recording script. So you could also record this on whatever platform. Like, even I'm recording this video on Streamlabs, because previously I was a streamer. I used to stream video games. So I kind of learned about this, and I did this. I made a video. That's where I made the first video for this channel. But also, you can record this anywhere. You can go even use CapCut. I've used CapCut before, and instead of going and uploading something to TikTok or uploading it to YouTube, what I did was I went and saved it to my Google Drive, to which I then took on my phone and I downloaded it. So that is something that you can do, even if you're just doing a video of you reading through your affirmations in a soft voice. And this is something you can go into, even just playing it from the drive. You can go and say loop. There's a lot of options to loop these. So I definitely want you guys to keep that in mind. Is that there are resources. If you think that you can't do something, definitely hit me up in the comments, and I will tell like, hey, I want to do this where I'm making this over like theta waves. CapCut's got some great theta wave voice, not voice, but great theta wave sounds that you can actually use. So then you just put that over your video of you reading your affirmations, and then you just turn that on repeat. If you turn that on repeat, put your phone face down and just lay there with your earbuds in. I did that for like 15 minutes at a time, and I absolutely love it. I think it's awesome. So yeah, with that being said, you're whispering, you're breathing in and out. Let your body sink softly now. Imagine a door in front of you, and a small door of warm wood. It's a small door of warm wood. A brass knob that fits your palm. This door opens to a room that is yours, and you're going to enter. So this is like, you're going to read that. What I always like to do is read read a section of it, close my eyes, kind of do some breathing work, some breath work, and really try to like immerse myself in it, so that once I go to read the next like paragraph or whatever, or the next section of it, it makes it easier for me to just sink right back into it. If you're reading, you're reading this, and you're building upon it. It's like, if you ever remember when you were a child and you were reading a book for school, you kind of would go and you read a little bit, and you're trying to build that scene in your head. So you're building it. You build it one section at a time. With that being said, you just kind of pause, and you just, you're going and doing this. I've let this ChatGPT know me, and I mean really know me. ChatGPT probably knows me better than most of my friends do. But I really wanted to learn how to use AI. I thought AI was an amazing tool, like very early on in this. So that's why I know so much about this and using ChatGPT in this way, right? So, just as you did when you were a child and you're reading a book, I want you to pause, like at these pause moments right here. I want you to really pause, close your eyes, take some breaths, just some slow breathing. And you're still the whole time in between each of these sections. You're going and actually teaching your, like each of these sections, you're going and you're relaxing yourself more and more and more, to the point where eventually, when you get down to the end of this, you're going to be ready to shut the device, take your glasses off your face if you wear glasses, or if not, you're going to shut the device, put it on the nightstand, and immediately sink in. And then while you're doing that, you get to the end of it and you're immediately sinking in. I want you to mentally go back to the beginning and just replay it like a looping dream. That's, to me, the best way to do these sats when you're letting ChatGPT create it. So, this visualization, everybody can do it. Like, I don't want people to think that, that this is something that just, it's just whatever, right? Oh, this is just such a hard thing. And AI has become so easy to use. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, it's killing your imagination, yada yada yada. No, it's not. There are a lot of people out there who have a very hard time with the use of their own imagination through childhood trauma or abuse or anything like that. Or maybe there's like mental health issues there, where they catastrophize a lot of things. I used to be one of those people. I am no longer that person, but I use tools like this to end up helping myself. I used ChatGPT as a kind of, a lot of people will call it trauma dumping. I used it. I said, okay, this is what I'm doing. And this is what I want. I learned about EFT tapping through some great creators on TikTok. And I also learned about, SATs and all this. I really immersed myself in the last 3 years in this whole idea of manifestation. And I wanted to learn everything. Because once I started to understand that the manifestation, like what I was doing, you're manifesting all the time. And that is a fact. You are manifesting all the time. So if you are a person who is catastrophizing, like I was back in my former timeline, I catastrophized a lot back in the day. And so I don't do that anymore, but I did. And when I catastrophized, it always came true. And I didn't understand that what I was doing was I was actually just going and creating that reality for myself. And had I chose something else, if I chose, a different path, if I said, okay, well, instead of saying, what's the worst that can happen, going, what's the best thing that can happen? That's really what you want to, and I know you guys are hearing me have a very animated voice, and this is very weird for you, I'm sure, because, you've heard my meditation voice, but this is just something I'm very passionate about, and I love talking about manifestation. Of course, you can't talk about manifestation to everybody. Not everyone is woken up. And if you'll remember the woman in the red dress scene in The Matrix, that will tell you exactly everything you need to know about that. You cannot talk to everybody about this. You have to kind of just test the waters and see what the people that you're speaking with, what their belief system are. If they're open to be woken up, quote unquote, you can talk a little bit about manifestation, because I want everybody to understand that they control their own lives. You control your own life 100% of the time, because you are the operant power and you're the person reviewing the reality. You're the one seeing this, right? So, and we're just kind of going on and on. So this is where I would read point one, right? I would read that. I would pause. I'd close my eyes for a second, just kind of take some breaths, and I would picture that door with the brass knob, and it perfectly fits the palm of my hand, right? That door, feeling my hand going and putting my right hand on that doorknob and my left hand on that door. So I feel that wood being warm. And it's going to take a lot of tries for you to get this. But once you get it, it's going to feel so good. And I want you to go to bed like this. I used to be a person who would go to bed and I would lay there in bed, and I had such a hard time sleeping, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I did, this, that, and the third all day long. I would think about all the things I did wrong all day long, right? I would do that. And then when then I'd wake up the next morning in the same stinking reality, right? I would wake up in the same reality, and, we kind of go from there. But with that said, I really want you to understand that this is going to take some time. You're not going to be perfect at it, but let's use the tools that modern technology has given us. I would pause. I'd take just like a few minutes, just kind of, and this is just the softened voice. If you're reading it out loud, I am not a person who likes to read things out loud. What I do is I read it in my head. So, right, I'm sitting there and I go to point two. You're in a cozy room lit by a single warm lamp. A low velvet chair faces a small table, and on the table is a single envelope with your name on it in your own handwriting. You pick it up. It's pleasantly heavy. Feel the weight of that envelope in your hand. Solid, real. And then that's where I want you to close your eyes again and just kind of take some more slow breaths. And think about a time when you have picked up an envelope and it was heavy. Whether it was heavy with paperwork that you didn't want to get, picture it like like you want, you have a mental reference point for that, but then you're going to go and assign a different meaning to it. So you're picking up this envelope, and you're like, wow, I'm so glad this envelope is heavy. Instead of you going being so angry about it, let's go and say, oh well, wow, this is wonderful. This envelope's heavy. I know exactly what's in this envelope, and I'm so grateful that it's heavy. This is how you're changing your mindset and the way that you think about things, right? So then you're gonna, after you've taken your time, you've done some more breathing, and like I said, in between is where you're going to be relaxing your mind. You really are relaxing your mind here. So then go move to point three. You slide your finger under the flap and open it. Inside is a bank deposit slip, a check, or an account notice, right? So you're like, oh wow, this is great. A clear statement that funds have arrived to you. Read the line in your mind. Amount received. Choose $5,000 or a steady increasing stream, something, like you can say $10,000 or whatever. This is where you pick that amount. This is up to you. You pick that amount. You see the numbers and you see the bank stamp, and you notice the little details, the paper texture, the cool ink, the soft click as you close the envelope, right? So you think about those things, and then again, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to think about that and really envision it, right? So you're really going to go into your mind's eye. I know I said this was going to be a simple lesson, but this is of course going to be a little bit longer, just because I feel like ChatGPT is such a wonderful, expansive tool that it's just very hard to give like a quote simple lesson without going into a lot of detail. But this is your SATs. This is your SATs, people. Like, this is your SATs, right? So you've got that. You've taken your pause. You've done your breathing. And while you're doing that, you're thinking about that, just that paragraph that you read. That one paragraph that says, amount received. We're just going to go say, for argument's sake, we're going to choose $5,000. Amount received, $5,000. You're going to see those numbers. And, and if you don't want, you can also say, that if you want to say, want to change point three, you can tell ChatGPT to change that point. Change that point to say, you open up your phone and you look in either your email, or you're going and looking in you're going and looking in, your banking app or anything like that. You open your banking app and you see amount received, $5,000, because we did choose that amount, right? And then you're going to think about, the feel of your phone in your hand, which if you've already got your phone in your hand and you're laying in bed, you already know what that feels like, because you have it right there. You have that point of reference. You can't ever say you don't have the point of reference for some of these things, because you have the point of reference for small, minute details. And once you go and start melding those together and mixing them in together, like you're making, a complex dish, it's the same thing. Like, if you're making food, you're putting all these different ingredients in it, eventually it all melds into one, amazing dish. Well, this is just taking all of those little points that and you're going to meld those into one amazing state akin to sleep visualization. So then you're going to take your pause, you're doing your breathing, and then again, you're going to start with your point four. As you hold the envelope, or if you change it and you say, as you are holding your phone, or say you have like an iPad or something, like a tablet, and you check your bank on there, or you check it on your computer, whatever the case may be. What I want you to do is really pick something simple that you already have the point of reference for. This is how you go and you take the things that you already have a point of reference for, and you meld it into the reality that you want to live in. That's how you do it. Little points of things So as you hold the envelope, we're just going to leave it an envelope for now, but you can change it. A warm sensation rises in your chest. Calm, certain, grateful. Now, these are, again, things that you already have right here. These are things that you already have, points of reference for, because they're about something else. You can say, like when if you brought home a really nice report card when you were a kid, and you looked at it at school, and then you brought it home and you handed it to your parent, you presented it to your parent, you had that calm, that certainty, that gratitude for the hard work that you did. So take those same things and kind of shoehorn them into this story, and that will help you really, really understand that this is how this works. So you've got calm, you've got certainty, and you've got gratitude, right? Your right hand presses gently to your heart. And you can even do this in real life. I do this a lot. I just, while I'm laying there, I'll just take, if it says press your hand gently to your heart, and you can say quietly to yourself with feeling. Now, that's the part that's important, is with feeling. This is mine. I accept it now. I am open to receive. Feel those words resonate through the body. They are true now. So now you're going to pause. You're going to think about that. Like, you're just like, think about holding that envelope and that feeling that you got. And you're going and linking something from your past, that calm, that certainty, that gratitude. Don't finish it where, say somebody, if your parent didn't respond well to it, don't finish the thought. Just go and hold on to that, that calm, that certainty, and that gratitude, and say, okay, well, this is how I felt. I remember sitting on the bus and thinking, oh my gosh, I've got this great report card and I cannot wait to bring it home to my parents. And then I just don't finish it. I don't take it home to them. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, I got that, and that's the same thing. I've got that calm, that certainty, that gratitude inside of me. And I just hang on to that part. You're cherry picking those little, good feelings that you had that you can go shoehorn into this story so that you can feel it real. And that's what really they're talking about when they're saying you need to feel something real. Again, you're taking your 5-second pause here. You see the life this money enables: a small dream in vivid detail, a bill paid. And a bill paid is, that's just something little, like a new tool in your hands, a soft evening with no worry. Watch one clear image, no more than 7 to 8 seconds. The feeling is what matters. Stay in the feeling of having. Let the sensation of ease, relief, and gratitude fill you. Again, these are feelings: ease, relief, gratitude. You've already felt these at some point in your life. There is nobody that's never felt at least ease in some, something. Ease can be something like something you're good at, right? When you go to, say you're really good at baking, for instance, if you're good at baking and the ease it is to just whip together something. If you are really good at video games, that ease you feel sliding sliding your hands onto the controller, onto the mouse and keyboard. Whatever you're good at, you have ease that you can pull from. Different life events you can pull from. And of course, relief and gratitude, you can pull from that. Being relieved, even like if you've ever worked out, you felt relief because, I do yoga, holding some yoga poses. And then when you get into that resting pose, that's relief. And then again, gratitude. So you're going and you're feeling it. You're really feeling it. After you've taken your pause with your breath. And like I said, during this whole thing, you're going and actually feeling so much more relaxed. You're just getting more and more and more relaxed for every time, every paragraph that we're reading, every point down through here. Every one of those gives you a point where you're slowly. So this is even something that you can help yourself to get ready for bed. So then this could be your breath work. So you're doing your breath work, right? You're just doing your breathing. You're breathing and slowly and deeply, and hold for a second and then let it out, for a few seconds, and then let it out slowly. The thing is that if you're going to do the breath hold, let it out slowly. That's something that's so important and something I learned from yoga. But then hear a soft, confident voice within you. This is your inner voice, right? So you're thinking this is the voice from your head. Money arrives easily and graciously, and I'm worthy. Opportunities flow to me, and I accept them now. You let the words echo 2 times, and then you can say them. You can say that even out loud. Like I said, keep on going. These are microsats for nights that you're really tired. You can just do this. Just do this like, all right, so you're just going to go and picture this super quick. This is, these are your affirmations and manifestation decrees. You're going to choose one of these to close at night. Super easy. This is, mirror decree. You can say this in the morning, or before sats. And then, some notes here. It will also ask you, what would you like to do next? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? Again, these are all things that you can really use to help you in your manifestation journey. And I really just wanted to kind of just highlight how, if you are a person who, through either childhood trauma or mental illness, now you have a hard time envisioning things, this is a way you could use this tool to really help you on your manifestation journey. And I really appreciate you guys joining me for this video. Like I said in the comments, if you really want me to just teach a series, I would love to do that on Discord. Just let me know. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.